What if kindness without boundaries is the very thing that's breaking you? What if your silence is teaching them you're disposable? What if being rare, not available, is how you finally get the respect you deserve? What if I told you the reason they don't respect you isn't because you lacked effort, but because you handed over your soul wrapped in ribbons without ever asking them to earn it? You were kind, you were present, you were always the one who showed up even when it hurt. You forgave what broke you. You laughed when you wanted to cry. You believed foolishly that being good would guarantee goodness in return. That loyalty would echo back. That love, when given purely, would find its way home. But instead, you got silence. You got shrugged off. You got treated like an afterthought, like a background song they only heard when the room went quiet. It never explodes in your face. No disrespect sneaks in wearing a smile. It starts with a slower reply, a sorry I forgot, a last-minute cancellation that somehow becomes a pattern. They don't call unless they're in trouble. They only show love when they're losing you. And yet you stay, not because you're blind, but because you keep hoping. Hoping that this time it'll be different, that somewhere deep down they care. That your kindness is being absorbed, not exploited, but your soul knows. You feel it in the quiet sting after they see your message and go. Silent, you feel it when your joy to see them is met with blank stars. You feel it when your loyalty is a one-way street with no return ticket. There's a cruel truth no one ever tells you. When people realize you'll never walk away, they stop trying. When your time is always free, it loses its weight. When your love is unconditional, it becomes disposable. When your energy is endless, they start expecting it, not appreciating it. People don't respect abundance when it has no price. They devour it like a buffet, gorge on your effort, and toss your heart in the bin the moment they're full. You didn't get discarded because you were worthless. You got discarded because you gave too much without making them earn even a piece of it. Epictetus said, attach yourself to what you can control and let go of what you cannot. You cannot bend people into gratitude. You cannot make someone value you by giving them more of what they already take for granted. But you can control access. You can decide who gets to see the full version of you and who only gets the echo. If you keep handing yourself over without boundaries, without standards, without reverence, they will treat you like a product on the clearance shelf, touched, tested, and tossed. And I get it. You've told yourself you're being good, that your kindness is your strength, that you're just being there for people. But if being kind leaves you hollow, if being available leaves you drained, if being forgiving teaches people that your heart has no limits, they will bleed you dry. You think you're being strong, but sometimes kindness is camouflaged for fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being liked, fear that if you raise your standards no one will stick around. But I'm here to burn that lie to the ground. The moment you stop chasing people is the moment you become magnetic. When you stop proving your worth, you start discovering it. When you stop pleasing everyone, you finally meet yourself. Stop blaming them. Stop pointing at the people who never called back, never thanked you, never stayed. Start pointing at the mirror, at the version of you that was too afraid to be rare, too desperate to be needed, too willing to pour yourself into the cracks of others while yours went unhealed. You don't need to be colder. You need to be wiser, sharper, rarer. You need to start guarding your energy like it's the last breath in your lungs. Because the real ones, they'll climb walls to access your soul. The wrong ones, they'll vanish the second you close the gates. This is your transformation, your rebirth, your silent war against every person who mistook your softness for weakness. And in this video, I'm going to drag you out of the mud and back into your power. Not with fake confidence, not with surface level of affirmations, but with fire, with discipline, with self-respect carved into every decision you make moving forward. Don't even think about skipping this. This isn't just a video, it's a damn wake-up call. If you've ever been ghosted, drained, overlooked, used, or treated like you were just there, this one's for you. Like, share, subscribe right now and drop this in the comments below if you're done begging for crumbs. I will no longer offer myself to those who don't value me. Let's raise the price. Let's reclaim your power. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. Being too friendly teaches people you have no boundaries. You believe being nice is your secret weapon, the golden key to being lovable, to being wanted. But what it really does is turn you into a ghost, a shadow lurking in the background, unnoticed, unheard. When you're the person who always says yes without hesitation, the one who answers every call no matter the hour, the one who reshuffles their entire world just to catch someone else's falling pieces, you're not showing strength. You're broadcasting your fear. The raw, ugly fear of being rejected, forgotten, left standing alone in an empty room. You're screaming to the universe, "Don't leave me. Don't dislike me, please just keep me here." And people, they see it, they feel it. Even if they don't say it out loud, something inside them shifts. They stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a fixture, a permanent fixture like the furniture, always there, always waiting. And that's when gratitude fades, when thank you becomes a rare visitor and cancellations come without a second thought. Because you've trained them without even realizing that you will bend, break, and forgive without question. That your heart has no locks, your time no price. Tag your presence no boundaries. This isn't kindness, this is surrender. Seneca carved wisdom into the stones of time when he said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have." What you really have is your time, your energy, your presence. These aren't mere gifts, they are the sacred currency of your existence. When you give them away like spare change to anyone who asks, to anyone who demands, to anyone who doesn't earn it, you are robbing yourself of your power. You are letting thieves walk right through your soul, stealing what no one else can replace. Boundaries aren't cold walls built out of hate or bitterness. They are the towering gates guarding a sacred temple. Your temple, a fortress built to protect the raw beauty, the fragile strength, the holy essence inside you. You don't let strangers trample barefoot through a palace, do you? So why allow anyone to drag dirt and disrespect across the floors of your heart? It's time to erect those walls, to carve your limits in stone and fire, to say no loudly, fiercely, unapologetically. Take your time answering calls, texts, requests. Let the silence echo like thunder. Ask yourself with brutal honesty, does this person deserve this version of me? The real, raw, powerful me. Because once you draw that line in the sand, two things will happen. Either they will step up and meet you there, matching your fire, honoring your worth, or they will fall away, dissolving into the shadows they came from. Either way, you win. You win because you reclaim your power, your peace, your dignity. If you have ever felt the slow bleed of exhaustion drained by the kindness you pour into ungrateful hands, hear this. Your value is not measured by your availability. It never was. Respect does not sprout from endless giving. It roots itself where boundaries are planted and fiercely guarded. So stand tall, guard your temple, and let this be your battle cry. Write it in your mind, in your heart, in the silence between your breaths. I am not available to those who don't value my energy. Say it again, louder this time, because this isn't just a statement, it's your liberation. Number 2, the more you give without being asked, the less they appreciate it. There's a moment so jagged it slices through your chest like shattered glass on fire when you realize you have been giving everything to someone who barely even notices your existence. You threw yourself into their chaos, answered their midnight screams, solved their problems before they even whispered a plea. You gave without permission, without pause, without asking for anything in return. You burned your soul on their altar, believing your flames would light their path closer to you. But instead, they turned their backs. They drifted away colder, quieter, as if your devotion was just a whisper lost in a hurricane. The brutal, savage truth. People don't cherish what they don't sweat for. They don't honor gifts they never earned. You gave love so pure, so raw. It should have been a blazing sun, but to them, you were just a faded poster on a wall, peeling at the edges, ignored like a dime store trinket nobody cares to pick up. Your endless sacrifices, your late-night battles, your fragile hope flattened into air, meaningless, invisible. The more you spilled your heart without being asked, the more it vanished into the void. Your kindness wasn't seen as strength, it became their leash, their permission slip to take without thanks, to demand without respect. Here's the savage paradox nobody ever warns you about. Value is forged in struggle. It's hammered in by effort, sweat, and fight. When someone claws and bleeds for something, they guard it like treasure. But when you hand it over like water from a busted pipe, they start to believe it's cheap, infinite, replaceable. You become wallpaper, background, noise, a placeholder for whoever needs you in the moment and tosses you aside when they don't. You make yourself so effortlessly available that your presence becomes nothing but air, easy to ignore, easy to forget. They forget your heart wasn't an open book. It was a vault. Your time wasn't spare change, it was gold. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one." But hear this. With every fiber of your being, you do not need to shatter yourself to prove your goodness. You do not need to drown in your own kindness to be worthy. True strength is a quiet, fierce fortress. It's not screaming and breaking, it's standing still, unshaken, guarding your soul like the most sacred temple. It's drawing brutal lines in the sand before you bleed out for the ungrateful. Because kindness without boundaries isn't kindness, it's self-enslavement. Pulling back is not cold, it is survival. It's not selfish to hold your fire back until they step into your light first. You have poured every ounce of you into empty wells. You have given until there was nothing left but ashes. Now let the silence thunder. Let your absence slam into them like a storm that won't be ignored. Let them feel the raw, aching vacuum you leave behind, because sometimes respect is born not from presence but from the brutal silence of withdrawal. Stop shattering your heart against hands that never reach to catch it. Stop feeding ghosts with your light. Protect your energy like a warlord guarding the last fortress. Make them chase you. Make them fight for what you once gave away like air. Your worth, your love, your soul are not handouts. They are rare fire, treasure, power, and only those who dare to earn them deserve to hold them. Number 3. Being too friendly makes people test how far they can push you. When someone realizes you won't fight back, the game changes. It begins with a small crack, an unchecked favor, a late reply swallowed like poison, a laugh forced at a joke that cuts deep. That crack explodes into a canyon where respect once lived. Suddenly, plans get cancelled without remorse. Voices talk over your silence. Calls come only when their world burns, and you stay glowing friendly. Your smile, a fragile mask hiding the storm building beneath. Testing boundaries isn't born from cruelty, it's the hunger of unchecked power. When no never leaves your lips, when enough is a ghost you refuse to summon, they don't hesitate. They push harder, they push deeper. Every ignored line, every swallowed sting, every polite shrug is a damn invitation stamped in neon. Keep going, because kindness without resistance is not a wall. It's an open door screaming, take whatever you want. Kindness is a hunter's trap. Most people don't walk through it with respect. They circle it like vultures, searching for weakness. They want proof. Proof that your soul bleeds at their touch. Proof that your smile cracks under pressure. No line, no warning. Then cross, again, trample. Drag your dignity through the dirt until it's unrecognizable. Until you forget what self-worth feels like. Stoicism demands a different kind of strength. The silent roar beneath the calm. Epictetus threw down the gauntlet. Be ready to be seen as foolish and stupid, because standing firm will make the world uneasy. They'll brand you cold, distant, changed, as if your boundaries are crimes. Their discomfort is a mirror reflecting their loss of control. You no longer belong to their playground. You are a fortress with battlements built from fire, and bone pain will gnaw at your resolve. The urge to please, to be liked, to be seen as good, it will scream in your ear, especially when kindness was your sacred code. But kindness without self-respect isn't a crown, it's a chain. It's the silent surrender of your soul to those who never valued it. It's letting your heart be a doormat, stamped with every careless step. You are not a backup plan or a convenience for others' whims. You are a force, a wild storm no one tames. It's time to make your presence a thunderclap that demands respect. Let your energy shift the air so violently they feel it in their bones. No more testing, no more silent allowances. You have claimed your worth, and now your presence costs everything. Number 4. When you're too available, people forget your value. When you're everywhere, you become nowhere, invisible, a constant hum of background noise. No one notices anymore. Showing up, answering every call, calming every storm. They don't mean to erase you, but your endless availability steals your own shadow. You vanish into thin air, swallowed by the very presence you gave away so freely. Being always there is the quickest way to become forgotten. You never left them wondering, never gave them a sliver of doubt, no gaps in the sky for them to look up and miss your light. No space for your absence to carve its echo into their bones. You erased the mystery, snuffed out the hunger, killed the electric pull that made them crave you in the first place. When something stands still for too long, it becomes predictable and the world stops chasing predictable. Love, they say, is about showing up, but it's also about knowing when to vanish, when to pull back so hard that your silence screams louder than your presence ever could. Real power lives in absence. The weight of your withdrawal becomes a mirror, a reckoning. Let them drown in the quiet you create. Let that emptiness burn a hole in their certainty. That's when they start to measure your worth, not when you're handed to them like an easy gift. Marcus Aurelius carved this into the bones of his wisdom. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. You try to control their eyes, their hearts by flooding their world with your light. But floodlights blind more than they illuminate. When you flood their lives, you lose control over how they see you. You become a fixture, a given, and what's given gets tossed aside without a second thought. Pulling back isn't arrogance, it's a battle cry for self-respect. It's a fortress built from the raw materials of self. Your energy is not currency to throw away. Your time isn't a discount bargain. You deserve to be missed like a wildfire, uncontainable, fierce, impossible to ignore, not some faded note left on a forgotten shelf. So retreat, not as punishment, but as protection. Guard the sacred power of your presence. Shield the fierce essence of your identity. Preserve the wild magic you carry just by existing. The moment you become scarce, their indifference shatters, the illusion fades. And those who truly matter, they don't just notice. They claw through the storms, they move mountains, they burn worlds down just to stand in your light again. Number 5. Being overly nice hides your real power, and people sense it. You enter every room wearing the armor of niceness, a smile that barely conceals the storm beneath. Your voice dips low, shaped to soothe, to calm, to keep the peace. You nod along even when every fiber of your being screams rebellion. You say yes when your heart pounds out 1,000 no's. Society drilled it into you. Be nice, be likable, be pleasant. But no one warned you this niceness could become a prison, shackling the fiercest parts of your soul. Underneath that gentle exterior, your real power lies buried, deep, locked away like a wild beast caged beneath a velvet glove. People don't just hear your words, they feel the tremor beneath your surface. They sense the weight you carry, but never unleash your kindness. It's not raw, it's a calculated performance, controlled, measured, a shield to hide from conflict, from chaos, from showing your teeth. And here's where the nightmare begins. The slow, quiet decay of respect. Because when you're always agreeable, always eager to smooth the waves, always willing to bend till you break, people stop fearing you. They stop respecting your presence. You become their dumping ground, their venting valve, their doormat, their easy target. They walk over you, push past your limits because they know the beasts behind your smile won't rise. You turned niceness into armor when what you really needed was a sword. A blade sharp enough to cut through lies, through disrespect, through the false peace you force on yourself. Seneca said it best. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Overly nice isn't virtue, it's cowardice disguised. It's silence that drowns out your fire. It's never letting the world see the fierce, jagged edges of your truth. You stay hidden, safe, but invisible. And the price you pay, it's your soul. The resentment that boils under your smile. The exhaustion dragging at your bones. The bitter taste of losing yourself while keeping the peace. You smile as your spirit screams in chains. It's time to shatter that fragile mask. Bring every fierce part of yourself into the room. The sharpness, the fire, the unyielding standards, the raw, unapologetic truth. You were never meant to be background noise, a shadow in your own story, or a whisper lost in the crowd. Stop watering yourself down so the world won't choke on your power. The right people will tremble and respect every blazing ounce of your clarity. The wrong ones, they'll scatter like ash in the wind. Either way, you rise, you win. What if everything you thought about kindness and friendliness was ripping the life out of your soul? What if your endless giving, your constant availability isn't love? It's a slow poison draining every last drop of your power. People don't worship what's handed to them on a silver platter. They crave what they have to fight for, what they earn with sweat, respect, and fear. Stop pouring your time, your energy, your very soul into open hands that treat you like a stopgap, like a convenience store that's always open but never valued. Pull back, step out of the reach that's become their leash. Reclaim the razor-sharp edge they forgot you had. Let your silence roar louder than your words ever could. Let your absence be the earthquake that shakes their world awake, showing them what your presence was worth all along. Epictetus didn't mince words when he said, "Know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly." It's not just philosophy, it's a battle cry. Know your value, wear it like armor, make your life so magnetic, so fierce that people don't just want you, they need you. Be less available, be more untouchable, be the storm they can't forget. If this message burns inside you, let it explode across your world. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't let these words slip through the cracks of your days like whispers lost in the wind. Own your power. Take it back completely, unapologetically, and without mercy. Conclusion: you've poured yourself into others hoping they would return the same energy, but they didn't. Now you understand the truth. Being endlessly available, kind, and forgiving without boundaries doesn't earn respect, it erodes it. The Stoics remind us that what we control is ourselves, our reactions, our energy, our self-worth. From this moment forward, you build walls, not to isolate, but to honor the sacredness of who you are. You stop chasing, you stop begging, and you stop being predictable. The rare are always remembered. So hold your power like it's fire, let others earn your light. Withdraw when necessary, speak with intention, and be the presence they never forget.